Thank you for joining us.
Hello, everybody.
I really look forward to seeing what's going to come up today and what we could glean for you today. And if you look in the description, there is a link to a video explaining who we are and explaining what we do. And come back and join us. So let's see what we can address today that will be relevant for you. I'm going to use muscle testing and we'll see what comes up.
While Matumaya does that, I'll remind everyone that whatever comes up is usually it's common ground for everyone. We're doing general and specific clearings about whatever comes up. And if you have any requests, any questions, feel free to comment in the video. We go through all the comments. And we'd love to clear everything you want.
Okay, so there is very interesting, and I think, like everything, I could definitely relate to this one. There is an attachment to learning. And this is something, like Efton and I can both really relate to, because we're like professional students. We learn all the time, because if there's another course, if there's something else, we could learn another book. We just hear about, we really enjoy it. We're like a sponge. We learn so much. But this is, I don't know if you can relate to this, but there comes a time where we need to put that into practice. And we both do. We have our clinics but then, allowing it to grow even more, realizing the potential and not just keeping it as a potential, actually doing something about it. And in this sense is the attachment to learning new things, to expanding our knowledge all the time is can be hindering for us, in the sense that it prevents us from actually putting it into practice, because we're constantly chasing the next thing to learn, as opposed to processing, integrating the knowledge that we have and presenting it as a gift to the world. Anything you want to add on that, like Effect?
Definitely. So first of all, everything that brings up, would you like to extract and release it?
Yes.
Excellent, and so it is. And I wanted to say that what came up for me is there's a lot of beauty and fun in learning more and expanding and finding new tools and new things to work with to make our life funner and easier and more joyful. But the question is what we're doing it from. Are we doing it from escapism to escape from practicing, like Tumaya said? Are we doing it out of perfectionism, thinking that we're not good enough yet, so let's do more, so we'll be perfect? Are we doing it out of fear of losing someone or losing something? What place? This is relevant to this and to everything. What place are we doing everything from? Under what influence are we under? Are we doing it just to expand and have fun and to learn more? Are we doing it with ease? Does it make us, are we doing it and it feels light and easy? Or does it feel very tiring and we force ourselves? This is something we could measure it by, if we're on our right path or not. So every place that we do things that feel heavy for us and that make us tired and out of fear, instead of out of fun and ease and lightness, do we want to extract and release all that?
Yes.
XNR, and so it is.
There's two fears actually came up. One is fear of failure. So when we keep ourselves in a constant learning, I don't know what to call it, like a constant learning space that we're in, or awareness that is focused on learning all the time, we don't really look at that fear of failure. If we constantly gathering more information, but we don't put it into practice, we don't need to challenge ourselves with potential failure, or how will the world perceive me if I come out with this information, if it's not complete. And it's what that perfectionism that you talked about as well. And am I continuing to learn and continuing with my studies? Because that's a place for me that where I hide from the world, because it's not a stagnant place because we're constantly out to that, but it's not. But it's sort of all of that flows into one place, but then it doesn't have an outlet. So everything that brings up, would we like to extract and release?
Definitely.
And so it is. And the other fear that came up is fear of loss. So let's think about fear of loss. How does that relate to that attachment to learning? What are we afraid to lose? Let's think about that. Let's see what comes up.
Sometimes what came up for me is that many times people are afraid to lose themselves or to lose their loved ones. So they become attached to learning to be a better partner, to be a better parent. And they're all the time dealing with others and surrounding others instead of what makes them fun. I'm the best partner when I'm happy, when I'm joyful, when I'm fulfilled. I'm the best parent when I have air for myself and I have energy. And when we constantly focus on learning more, it could be very draining. Again, the question is what we're doing it from. And that's fear of losing others and fear of losing ourselves. I think many times we won't practice something we learn because we're afraid of changing. We're afraid of who will be when we'll clear certain things, when we'll try this system. Maybe we'll lose others. Maybe we'll lose ourselves and not recognize ourselves. So we go on to the next thing and go on to the next thing and something, looking for something when right there we have everything. We just need to enjoy it. So everything that brings up and everything that doesn't allow us to relax, to enjoy, to receive, all that. Do we want to just extract and release all that?
Yes.
XNR. And so it is.
And thank you for bringing all those different ways of looking at it. And when I tested, I got that the fear of loss is also connected to everything you said, but also the fear of losing how I perceive myself. So if I have, a certain way that I view myself, certain point of view, that who will I be if I lose that? And maybe I feel or you feel very comfortable in that place of the person that continues to study all the time. And are we willing to let go of how we perceive ourselves to be and to be open to what could potentially we could manifest or create that we aren't even aware of? They could be bigger and better and actually feel more aligned with where we want to take our lives. But due to these fears, we haven't allowed ourselves to do that. And are we ready to let go of those fears? So I want to extract and release everything preventing us from taking that step to being open to seeing what reality we could create for ourselves that will be more aligned with who we are right now. So if you are ready to extract and release all the root causes, the patterns and the fears standing in your way to becoming the person you want to be, then say yes.
Yes.
XNR, and so it is.
Perfect. And while Tamara muscle tests if there's anything else to clear in this video, I'll just explain about fear. Fear isn't something bad. It's something that exists, and it's actually like a notification. Say, hey, pay attention. Do you see this? And when we notice our fears, we pay attention to them. We can choose what's relevant for us. Maybe we'll say, oh, this fear is something to go back a bit. It's not right for me to continue. Or at a different time, the fear we'll look at the fear and say, yeah, we're aware of this, but we want to continue. It's okay. We took this into consideration. It's just a notice. Pay attention. That's all fear is. We don't need to fear. We need to enjoy the fact that we have a fear. We have an emotional scale that shows us what to pay attention to things, to shows us what feels good, what feels not as good, and to just go with that.
I agree. And I got that we need to look at feeling comfortable about receiving. And maybe I could tie it into a place of, when we're constantly learning, it's about gathering information so we can help others, so we could benefit or be a contribution to others, obviously, and ourselves on our journey as well. But is there something, there is a blockage, is there something preventing us from being open to receiving? And another word that came up is embarrassment. Are we embarrassed to receive? Is there something there that, and at a different part, a particular age or through a pattern that we created that made it hard for us to receive? Most people feel way more comfortable to give than receive. So what would allow us to receive and not be embarrassed about receiving, and know that we can receive, we definitely receive a lot through learning, but that's a completely different energy than receiving more organically and through community and through interaction, and even through videos like this. And through giving, we receive so much. This is definitely a calling for Cafe Danae.
And also we receive through practice. We receive knowledge, what feels good for us, what doesn't feel as good, what contributes to us. Not just studying and learning, but practicing and seeing how it feels. That's also a type of receiving the energy of what we learned, receiving the feelings of how it feels.
Yeah. So to look at where we started from, are we ready to let go of the attachment to learning? Are we ready to take on the next step and see who we could become? Are we willing to let go of who we were up until now, even though it served us? Otherwise, we wouldn't be there. But are we willing to be open to seeing what else we could create?
And are we willing to start receiving?
Yeah. So we want to extract and release everything that stood in our way that prevented us from doing that.
Yes.
Yeah, great. So XNR, and so it is.
Perfect.
Yeah. Is there anything else that you want to add to that?
I would like just this question. What's possible that we can learn and practice and enjoy the learning, and to know when to stop and relax, and to just let it flow in, and to be in a receiving mode and in a accepting mode, and relaxing with ease, and not just all the time trying to do, not just in the doing, also in the everything that doesn't allow that. Do we want to extract and release it all?
Yes.
And so it is.
Yeah, and touching on that, also with the fear, what came up before, the fear of failure, is being open to that. It's just another experience. We have so much attachment and negative emotions that people associate with failure. And what if failure was just an experience? And what if we could enjoy failure, because that would just direct us to the next thing that maybe is more in alignment with where we need to go. And everything that doesn't allow us to view failure as that, we like to extract and release.
Yes.
XNR, and so it is. And also with what you just, the clearing you just did, it's also, taking that time to stop and actually allow things to integrate. And that's when we actually make the huge jumps, when we get to new heights with our knowledge, when we actually just stay still and allow things to integrate, like you said, be open to receiving and allowing that energy to flow in and also allowing it to integrate. So everything that all perceptions that we have in regards to actually slowing down, stopping, if we could view that as being lazy, as not doing enough, and or maybe we've heard, growing up from our parents or from our environment, oh, you're not doing anything, and you should be more active, that has actually changed what we knew deep down that was the right thing for us and for our learning. Everything that doesn't allow us to view it as super crucial to our growth, would we like to extract and release?
Yes, definitely.
XNR, 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 and so
And I wanted to ask if we'd like to extract and release everything we defined failure, everything we defined success, everything we defined lazy, everything we defined that we have to do, instead of just choosing what's right for us at this moment, even if it's relaxing, with all the benefits of relaxing, and everything we defined relaxation. Some of us just think of this word and a lot of resistance comes up. So everything we defined, all that we wanted to extract and release all of it.
yes.
XNR, 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 and so it is.
And so it is. I think this will conclude the video for today. We covered quite a bit. Thank you for joining us. Please don't forget to like,
share, and subscribe if you enjoyed the content we